Hey, it's Matt from the podcastsetup.com. Pocket Cast, my favorite daily driver for podcast listening, owned by Automatic, another company that I'm well aware of in my WordPress ventures. Pocket Cast has released their web version. There's been a lot of positive, like this is great. We all now have access to listening to podcasts in the web browser. There's been some criticisms because a lot of the sort of feature set is locked behind signing up and creating an account. So today I wanted to show you a handful of web-based players that I often bounce around in to listen and just see what the industry is up to, see what's happening in the podcast world. It's interesting because I think a lot of podcast listening, at least in the initial discovery phase, happens probably in a browser, right? You see a recommendation, somebody shares a link, whether that's a link to a podcast app or a website where a podcast is on. And when you click that, it's generally opening up your browser first, especially if you don't have, let's say, a shareable Pocket Cast link, it'll probably pull it right up on the web. So I think a lot of browser-based playing happens in that initial level of discoverability. And it's great to see Pocket Cast offering their web player now available. So let's just search for Podcasting 2.0. A great app, or excuse me, a great podcast that you should be listening to if you want to keep up with the world of Podcasting 2.0. You can see a quickly search. It gives me all the metadata that I need. If I were to click follow, it would then prompt me to create an account. I do have an account at Pocket Cast, but I'm just trying to show you like the public side of it. If I click this to play, it's going to bring me to the show notes, and then I can click in here to play the episode. All these other UI and features, again, are all going to be locked behind creating the account. Not a big deal, but just notable that really the free version of Pocket Cast means you can search, you can discover, and you can play that episode right here in the browser. Again, everything else, history, bookmarks, all behind setting up an account. But snappy, fast, loads quickly, and it's going to give you a nice browser experience. Apple also has that, though I am leaving them off the list today because I'm looking for other non-Apple and Spotify experiences. Pocket Cast, you can now get it for free at play.pocketcasts.com. TrueFans, another one to enter the scene a few years ago by friend of the show, Sam Sethi. TrueFans is much more than a podcast player on the web, though that's kind of how it started. It is one of these, I'll even call it just a complete platform that's leveraging everything that Podcasting 2.0 has to offer. If I were to go through all of the features here, it would take hours, if not days, to complete everything that's available in TrueFans. But if you're somebody who's into everything that Podcasting 2.0 does, or you really want to just discover, like maybe you're like, I don't know if I want to do that Podcasting 2.0 thing, which I think we can all get over. If you want to see transcripts, chapters, live, the live tag or live streaming for audio, TrueFans supports a lot of this stuff. Fanzone is actually a new podcast by Sam Sethi over at TrueFans. When we click into this, you'll see right here, it's pulling in the person tag, which is displaying the person's avatar and their online presence, their titles, right? Each episode has an activity log, a comment log, a clips log, reviews, recommendations. There's a lot of stuff inside of TrueFans. It is a great example of how other podcast apps, including Pocket Casts and podcast hosts, should be taking this feature set from Podcasting 2.0, this namespace of the RSS feed, and enhancing that listenership, that discoverability, and all of that fun stuff. If you want to boost or support the show, you can do all of that stuff inside of TrueFans. There's a lot going on here. Same thing for some of these features. You're going to have to join and sign up. There's no fee to join TrueFans. You can sign up for free. But they do a lot with music, super fans. I think there's books and courses coming. There's like audiobooks. There's a lot of stuff happening at TrueFans. And if you want to see the cutting edge of where Podcasting 2.0 is going, check out truefans.fm. Another one that I used a lot at my days in the podcasting world when I was at a podcast hosting company is Good Pods. And kudos to them for still being here because it's not an easy game. And Good Pods has, I would say, really cornered the community-based podcast experience. So if you want to create community around or groups around your podcast, and you want to have that interaction of chat, and sort of like this meta experience around your show, they do a really good job. I have to say, as a podcast creator, you can interact with folks. You can do a lot of interactive stuff like thumbs up, thumbs down, follow, all of this great stuff that we're all looking for when it comes to, being a podcaster and, being a creator, to see how all of this stuff comes together. And it's a great experience. It works both on the mobile device and on the web. And if you're just looking for another great place to play a podcast, I'm going to pause this. It's not going to play. If you're looking for another great place to listen to podcasts on the web, Good Pods, I'll throw that hat into the ring. Good Pods does great. I have nothing bad to really say about Good Pods. It might not have like all of the podcasting 2.0 features. It might not be as lightweight as, say, Pocket Cast, but it is it's a different experience, basically, at the end of the day. And it's made for people who want to build that community around their show. So Pocket Cast launches onto the web. True Fans is really innovating on the podcasting 2.0 side, also listening on the web. And then Good Pods, much more of that community groups kind of feel with podcasting, also listenable and discoverable on the web. I'll throw this fourth one out there. This is the podcastdownloader.cc. This is me just experimenting with building my own apps and building my own stuff with AI. Think of this as very experimental, but what I just really wanted to quickly do as somebody who breaks down and reviews and listens to a lot of podcasts and needs transcripts and makes clips from shows, I wanted an app where I could just quickly browse to and then just download that episode. So I created Podcast Downloader. And for example, right here, I searched for Podcasting 2.0. It just shows the the artwork. It shows some of the meta information that was important to me, value for value tag, of course. And then you can play these episodes. And most importantly, I can just click this download button and that'll download the episode right to my desktop. And that's something that I really wanted. I just wanted a quick way to search and download these episodes. Honorable mention, but not up on the screen, episodes.fm has some great follow links as well. Admittedly, though, and I've spoken to Nathan about this, the creator, also covered it on this channel before, he's not really looking to invest in a listening experience for that app, more so than it is to be able to share and network your show. So that episodes.fm is another one that a fifth one that I might throw into the ring. So there you go. Some quick overviews of where to listen to podcasts on the web, in a web browser, on your desktop or on your mobile phone. Check them out. Thanks for watching. If you want your podcast featured on the Podcast Setup, go to thepodcastsetup.com and fill out the little interview link. There's a button in the top right corner of the website, and we'll feature your podcast setup for free. It's a great way to promote and get listeners to your show. Thepodcastsetup.com. Thanks for watching today. Thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more. See you in the next one.